This is your life, and it's ending 1 minute at a time.
Welcome to Stop Listen Podcast. I'm your host, Jamie. Don't got any personal shit to get off my chest, so we're gonna hop right into it. RFK back in the news. Now I've held on to this video for a little bit, 8 days. From Forbes on YouTube, we got Trump releases new attack ad on RFK Jr. Let's watch that. Kind of get things started off divisively. Let's start fighting right off the bat, eh?
RFK Jr. is, as you know, the most radical left candidate in the race. He's more so than the Green Party. He's more so than even crooked Joe Biden. But he's got some nice things about him. I happen to like him. Unfortunately, he is about the Green New Scam because he believes in that, and a lot of people don't. They want to see our country become rich and wealthy and strong and powerful and lots of other things, and not waste money doing something that nobody wants.
Be positive. We will figure out energy. There's no signs of us running out of oil. It's not bad for the planet. You want to keep things as clean as possible. Why is there no talk of nuclear energy? I mean, why isn't RFK running on nuclear energy? Clean energy. If he's all about the environment, where is RFK on nuclear? That would actually be great. Because he has been bringing up some things that need to be brought up. But not that. What's his energy policy? It's on his website. I know it is. But, I mean, given how he is on the environment, like Trump is saying, you wouldn't think he is going to be drill baby drill. But if he's smart, which he is, he would be in favor of nuclear.
And everybody knows doesn't work. I guess that would mean that RFK Jr. is going to be taking away votes from crooked Joe Biden, and he should, because he's actually better than Biden. He's much better than Biden. If I were a Democrat, I'd vote for RFK Jr. every single time over Biden, because he's frankly more in line with Democrats.
It's very odd. They are friends. They are friends. This is intentional. RFK Jr. is in this to help Trump win. He knows he can't win. So running, and you know you have zero chance unless you're doing it to get a point across to the American people, and this is the best way to give yourself a platform to get that point across. Perfect. I think that's what Trump was doing in 2016, and he accidentally lost. Or accidentally won. But he lost too. I think he was renegotiating for The Apprentice by front of a president. And whoops, he won. That's what happened. Look at the administration, especially in the early days. They had no idea what they were doing. I mean, and that's why we're very lucky we weren't challenged when he was getting his feet wet.
Is also a very liberal person, but that's okay. She's got plenty of money from her ex-husband. Kennedy is a radical left Democrat and always will be, but he's a better man than Joe Biden.
I mean, he's taken a tone that I've never heard him speak like this before. He's attacking a friend. They are friends. He is saying, hey, if you think you like me, you do. This is coordinated. Huh. See, I didn't watch this beforehand. So this is going to be very interesting to a point I was going to make earlier anyway. It makes it, I think, even stronger.
It's great for MAGA. I hope he continues to run. But the communists will make it very hard on him to get on the ballot, as they did for him as a Democrat. He wanted to get on the ballot. They made it very, very difficult for him. They really went after him viciously, just like they go after me. Welcome to the crowd, RFK Jr. But the fact is that the Democrats are vicious, communist, fascists, horrible people. They really hurt him badly.
Well, okay, then He didn't call him Bobby. Why did he even just call, I mean, the fact that he called him RFK Jr., that's interesting. That's interesting. I'm acting like a crazy person with my hands again. Sorry.
Did to him as a Democrat. That's why he's running as an independent. But expect him to be indicted any day now, probably for environmental fraud. He is Crooked Joe Biden's political opponent, not mine. Biden can't speak. Biden can't debate. Biden can't put two sentences together. So I guess he's probably going to indict RFK Jr. But I'm glad that he's running. They will fight it out together. We have the right and we have the center, and we have even center a little bit left, if you can believe it or not, because that group is radical left. They want windmills. They want all sorts of things that are going to destroy our country, and we're not going to allow it. If you want to drive an all-electric car for a half an hour before you have to go home and get it charged, then you should vote for Joe Biden. But it's going to be interesting to watch the two of them fight it out. I do believe that RFK Jr. will do very well, and I do believe he's going to take a lot of votes away from Crooked Joe Biden. Thank you very much.
So RFK's family has come out against him. He tweeted, I hear some of my family will be endorsing President Biden today. I am pleased they are politically active. It's a family tradition. We are divided in our opinions, but united in our love for each other. I hold this as a possibility for America too. Can we disagree without hating our opponents? Can we restore civility and respect to public discourse? I think we can. My campaign, which many of my family members are working on and supportive of, is about healing America, healing our economy. He was a true MAGA candidate, and I was taking a hard left turn with who he picked as vice president. But I think he's going to work for Trump. As much as he obviously hates the Democrats, he's running to fuck up. He's running to mess with. He's running to mess with Biden. So, yeah, it's going to be awesome. He can be Attorney General. So here is Joe Biden's post about the Kennedy's endorsement.
My name is Joe Kennedy.
I'm Carrie Kennedy.
Troy Kennedy.
Kathleen Kennedy Townsend.
Chris Kennedy. And I'm here to proudly endorse Joe Biden.
Joe Biden. Joe Biden.
Our future is on the ballot in a way in which we haven't seen in generations.
The only way to win this election is for everybody to go out and vote for Joe Biden and Kamala Harris.
When I think of modern politicians,
She talks
in
like
our
him.
country,
Did you hear that?
this
She's got the family tick?
century, I think Joe Biden is the RFK of his generation.
Believes in democracy, believes in human rights,
What?
believes in the freedoms.
This is a president who embodies the Kennedy legacy.
My name is Joe Kennedy.
I'm Carrie Kennedy.
Troy Kennedy.
Okay.
Kathleen Kennedy Townsend.
Chris Kennedy.
And I'm here to proudly endorse Joe.
Shameful. Proudly. You son of a bitch. Rob Reiner, derelict director or producer, actor, whatever he does. He was in All in the Family 50 years ago. He said Robert Kennedy Jr. has been rejected by the Kennedy family. He is now being rejected by the entire environmental community. It's time to listen to his mentor, John Adams, former head of NRDC. For the sake of preserving our democracy, drop out of the race. So before his family endorsed Joe Biden, Robert F. Kennedy Jr. undercuts Democrats on January 6th. Little evidence of a true insurrection. And as we're in the Supreme Court now, okay, we don't have any video here. We're at the Supreme Court now. Basically, it's just made up. The charge, the major charge that they got all of them on, interrupting an official proceeding, is the law they're using is like a financial crimes law, and has never been used for any similar cases, like when the left does their little temper tantrums. So the Supreme Court is going to overturn that. And a lot of January 6 people are going to get out of prison. But we're too busy to worry about other things. We haven't been talking about them nonstop. We should have been. We should have had political pressure. And we should be ashamed of ourselves. So Kennedy's statement reads as follows. January 6th is one of the most polarizing topics on the political landscape. I am listening to people of diverse viewpoints on it in order to make sense of the event and what followed. I want to hear every side. It is quite clear that many of the January 6th protesters broke the law in what they may have started as a protest but turned into a riot because it happened with encouragement of President Trump and in the context of his decision that the election was stolen from him. Many people see it not as a riot but as an insurrection. Dude. I have not examined the evidence in detail, but reasonable people, including Trump opponents, tell me there is little evidence of true insurrection. That's why. That's why his family just came out against him right there. So he posted this video a few weeks ago on his YouTube channel. And let's go out on this. And I'm not going to pounce around topics today. I'm just talking about RFK.
What is your relationship and what is your understanding of God? Who is God?
Most philosophers would say we're inside the mind of God. And so it would be impossible for us to understand actually what God's form is. So then the question is, how do you start believing in something that you can't see or smell or hear or touch or taste or acquire with your senses? And Jung provides the formula for that, and he says, act as if you fake it till you make it. And so that's, what I started doing. I just started pretending there was a God watching me all the time, and kind of life was a series of tests. And there was a bunch of moral decisions that I had to make every day. And if I make a whole bunch of those choices right, I maintain myself in a posture of surrender, which keeps me open to my higher power, to my God. And when I do those things right, so much about addiction is about abuse of power. All of us have some power, whether it's good looks or whether it's connections or education or family or whatever. And there's always a temptation to use those to fulfill self-will. And the challenge is, how do you use those always to serve instead God's will and the good of our community? And that, to me, is kind of the struggle. And when I do that, I feel God's power coming through me, and that I can do things. I'm much more effective as a human being. That gnawing anxiety that I lived with for so many years, and my God, it's gone. And that I can kind of put down the oars and hoist the sail, and the wind takes me. And I can see the evidence of it every day of my life.
That was nice. That sounded like a true believer. But that's a man who believes in abortion, bodily autonomy. So it's just, I realize now that the opposition to Trump is about abortion. They've said it. I mean, that's all Kamala Harris is supposed to talk about. It's trying to get a felony on Trump and then just talk about abortion. And they very well could talk enough women into voting for the destruction of our country so they can kill their babies. It makes me realize a guy set himself on fire in front of the Trump courthouse today. Like a month ago, 2 months ago, another person set themselves on fire for Palestine. Things are clearly really not going well. The left is death. They kill their babies, or they castrate them when they grow up. Sometimes they abuse them otherwise. It was kind of a shock to this country. We didn't really, until 9/11, we weren't really familiar with Islam generally. Sometimes they would be like kind of the hijackers in movies and stuff like that. And Rambo 3? Yeah. Third Rambo. But the idea that I guess our country was somewhat familiar with like kamikaze, the fighting the Japanese, I think. I mean, very, very ignorant on that part of history. So I know that's something like that. But seeing radical Islam, and it was kind of like, wow, to a lot of Americans, I think, like you willing to kill yourself as long as you're killing other people for your belief system, like that is some strong belief systems. These people on the left are killing themselves and not even taking anyone else with them, which, I mean, be thankful for that, but still, like, it's a cult. And at the top of that Tower of Babel is abortion. So I'm not going to start talking about it more on the show. I just I don't want to edit. You have to like edit that and listen. That's not. I'm not going to like save anybody's life on this podcast. I don't think. But I need to get more active in the world. We need to expose it for what it is, and actually, like, okay. I would like to hash it out with every single person who's for abortion on who else can we kill? Where does the dying stop? I think everyone who's pro-abortion should have to outline how they see the world. And I'm doing Trump hands again. Trump hands. I'm not like watching Trump all the time and picking this up off him. I don't know what's happening to me. I just gotta hold on to my marker, folks. All right. Have a good one. See you next time. Bye.
This has gone far enough, James.
This is your life, and it's ending 1 minute at a time.
This war stops now.
End the war. Bring freedom to our people.
No. No more tricks. No more lies. Only truth.
This is where we hold them! This is where we fight!